The Libyan leader, Colonel Gaddafi, has celebrated the 25th anniversary of the coup which brought him to power with a huge military parade through the capital, Tripoli. Banners carried messages of defiance against UN sanctions imposed on the country for refusing to hand over 2 Libyans suspected of the Lockerbie bombing. During his 25 years in power, Colonel Gaddafi has in the past openly supported terrorist groups, including the IRA, whom he provided with arms.
It was the Colonel's big day today, but not too many VIPs showed up for it. Just the presidents of Algeria, which needs all the friends it can get, Chad, where the Libyan army was utterly defeated 7 years ago, and Sudan, which is almost as isolated as Libya. Gaddafi himself, known as Brother Colonel or the Great Leader, does what he can to keep a semblance of normality under the intense strain of the UN sanctions. But normal is a relative term here. In his time, he's abolished shops, which he called nests of exploiters. He's replaced all forms of government with huge, unwieldy committees, and in theory anyway, done away with his own job. I'm not in power now, he said in his latest interview recorded this week. I'm not president. Power is in the hands of the people and the people's committees. And if anyone plots against me, they're plotting against the people. For someone who isn't in power, his portrait appears in the streets a great deal. It's on every corner. In fact, with the help of an unpleasant secret police, he's run the country for 25 years, the same length of time as it happens that the conflict in Northern Ireland has gone on. Gaddafi did his best for some years to keep it going. When he stopped supplying the IRA in 1988, he had sent them 5 shiploads of arms and explosives. But he's a showman rather than a serious supporter of terrorism. He's surrounded himself with an all-woman bodyguard. They have to be at least 5'8" tall and unmarried. He's even made a showpiece out of his barracks, bombed by the Americans in 1986. But Gaddafi was really small fry. The Americans preferred not to bomb the serious terrorist states, Iran, Iraq and Syria. The American bombing didn't even stop him supporting terrorism. It's the UN sanctions that have made him keep his head down. That and the threat of fundamentalism. He claims he is not frightened by fundamentalism. What's frightening, he says, is terrorism and heresy. But Islamic fundamentalists and his own army officers have between them tried to kill him more than a dozen times. To have survived for 25 years is a big achievement. But with so many enemies and the UN sanctions, future celebrations may well be limited. John Simpson, BBC News.